I'm just going over your bed video, and we have started making one video to assemble all the beds, but I did that after I took your bed apart. But I do have a video of exactly how your bed is labeled. So I'm gonna just interject in this assembly video and tell you what is different about yours. You're still building it the same way, it just might be a little differently labeled, if that makes sense. Okay, this is a video on how to assemble your bed. This is probably not your bed, but it is labeled the same as what I'm labeling your bed. So I just want to walk you through the assembly process and tell you the couple differences that yours will look like. Obviously this bed is unfinished completely, but it has the same labels that yours will have. We will have actual letter stickers, and I always hide the stickers. So for example, A is the same board, but I'm gonna hide the sticker down here. So I'll kind of walk you through that as we do that. A couple things before we get started. I'll also label it with directional labels. So we call this part of the bed the front, and the long open part in the back, the back. And then we call this part right here the foot, because we imagine the kids would put their pillows up there and their feet would be here. And then up there, we call that the head. So along with the ABC alphabet letter stickers I will have front foot or front head or back foot or whatever all over the bed as well, to kind of help you make sure you put the right piece in the right area. So let's get started. Okay, to start with, we are gonna assemble the foot of the bed and then the head of the bed separately, and we're gonna assemble them flat on the ground and then raise them up. So you're gonna need to find A and B. And again, your stickers will be hidden down here. They'll be A and B, and you're gonna lay them down flat on the ground, and you're gonna make sure that this angle right here mimics the roof angle, okay? So you lay them down, and then you're gonna find C, this thick board, and you'll lay it in between A and B on the bottom, and D, this long board right here, the sticker will be hidden right here or right here, and you will lay it down between A and B as well. This will create a big rectangle, and you're gonna take the bolts and you're gonna put the bolts in on the outside of A and B. So you'll attach C to the outside of A and to the outside of B. And then you're gonna attach D to the outside of B and to the outside of A. Once you're done with that, you'll have again this big square. You can go ahead and set it aside, and we're going to grab E and F, our rafters. Okay, so you always want to make sure, if I have labeled them wrong on accident, your long one rests on top of the short one. Usually I'll make E the long one and F the short one. So what you're going to do is take E and you're going to place it. You don't do this on top of the square yet. You're going to just do this separate. So take E and attach it up here, the bolt on top of F. Now we'll create this little triangle, and then take your triangle, place it on top of the foot of the bed square, and attach E right here on top of A, and F right here on top of B. Okay, then you will have this whole foot of the bed completed, and we're gonna do the exact same process for the head. One thing that's different about your bed versus the assembly video, when we get to like the point, the roof, the triangle part, that's labeled K and L. On the assembly video, L is the long one. On your bed, that's opposite. K is the long one and L is the short one. It'll make sense because the long board rests on top of the short board, and then you bolt it right on top there. So you won't be able to mess it up, really. You have to do it that way. But I just wanted to point that out to you. Okay, so here's the head of the bed. We have G is on the back side, so it'll say back head. H is on the front side, so it'll say back front. I is the long board down here, and I'll either label right here back head, or I'll label back front over there. And then J is the long board that goes between them. So again, lay the whole thing down on the ground. Make sure the angles of G mimic the roof and the angles of H mimic the roof. You're gonna go ahead and attach I on the outside of G down there, and on the outside of H down there. And then you're gonna attach a J to the outside of H right here, and to the outside of G right there. Once you get that square done, set it aside and go ahead and grab K and L. L is the long one. The long one's on the front of the bed again. And so you will attach L on top of K with the bolt right there. And then take the triangle, place it on top of your rectangle, and K attaches to the top of G right here. And then L attaches to the top of H right there. Okay, and then we have our head and foot completed, and we're going to attach them with these long boards going the horizontals that go across the bed. Okay, so our back board is M like monkey, and that's the big long one. And then our front board is N, which goes across here. You're gonna wanna grab both of those. You probably need 2 people here for this part. It doesn't matter if you start with the head or the foot. You'll attach M into G and B over there, and then N goes into H and A over there. The easiest way to do this, if you are alone, is, or even if you're with someone, is to have the head of the bed just slightly pushed forward so that as M is resting at an angle on the floor, it doesn't put any pressures on the bolts when you're attaching it. So go ahead and do that, and then have someone help you by holding up M as you're attaching it into B, and hold up N as you're attaching it into A over there. And then you'll have the structure of the base of the bed ready. I'm going to do the door. The first thing that's different about yours, or what you might see is different throughout the whole thing, is because you don't have a door on your bed, and there's a door on the actual bed. It really doesn't matter what's front and back for yours, so I just created one. So I believe on your bed I have labeled O as the front and P as the back. So like I said, as long as you're attaching O to B and G and P to A and H, you're good. Just to attach Q, the back long board right here. So you're gonna attach Q into G, and then the other end of it attaches into B on the outside there. We now have the whole structure of the bed, and it's just the the ridge board on the top to do. The ridge board is R, and I will have it say head and foot on this front post that would be like the part facing kind of down and frontward. So you'll need 2 people. One person needs to hold the other end while you're attaching this end. So the head end goes into L right on the outside, and then the other head end goes into E over here. Right here. And then the very last step, if you have ordered railings, is to put railings and slat boards on. Okay, so the slat boards are right here, and they have pre-drilled holes, and we attach screws, and you will just, if you want, screw it into this board, the resting board. Otherwise, they can just lay flat, and you can slap your mattress right on top of that. And let me show you how to attach the railings as well. Okay, if you have ordered railings for your bed, you will receive the 4 sets of railings, and they just fit snugly into the section we've labeled them, okay? The head and the foot, they're the same, but I will label head and go ahead and place the head in the head section, because just sometimes it just isn't fit. Okay, if you have ordered railings, what you will do is you'll go ahead and take the railing. It'll say head or foot or back or front, okay? You'll go ahead and you'll place it in the spot it's supposed to be. And then again, we'll have pre-drilled holes on the outside and screws supplied. And you'll just go ahead and screw them in the holes that are already there around on the outside of each set of railings. So there would be screws here for the railing that goes along the back. And that's that. These are not structurally needed, so if your child ever outgrows them, you can remove them, and the bed is still totally structural and safe. Please let us know if you have any questions or need any help while assembling your bed. We're always here to help, and we hope that you love it and that it was a simple process to put together. And thank you so much for supporting me. Go ahead and tag onto the end of this assembly video a video of your bed and how I labeled it before I took it apart. And so that should help you do is, if there's any point that you're confused, just run to the end of this video and you can see how I've labeled your bed. It is a quick video because I was just taking it so I could remember what piece was what when it's all disassembled. Besides that, I think the rest of the video is the same as the assembly video. A is the left side, B is the right side, C near the B, D near the A, E is the long, which is actually towards the B. This one's backwards. F is the short. G goes into B. H into A. I is by the H. J is by the H. K is the long on the back. L is the front, the short. O is the back. P is the front. Q is the front.